Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Greta. If you're new here, if you are a current subscriber, thank you. I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. Whew. Okay, so I'm actually refilming this video because I tried filming yesterday and on editing was like, what is going on with my lighting? I forgot Roomba knocked over my lights and I had just picked them back up but didn't rearrange them, so I had all kinds of crazy shadows going on and I looked more like cleaning girl than clean girl. So we are doing this over again. So yes, I have my top fragrances here for the clean girl aesthetic. I do have a few for men as well. So I do have my top fragrances for the new trendy clean girl aesthetic. I do want to say, as a little like disclaimer here, this is clean girl, not minimalist. If you're looking for a minimalist kind of channel, that is so not me. So not me, especially if you look at my collection. I get tremendous comfort from abundance and security and preparing for a rainy day. Like, that's more my speed. I just feel like minimalism is just an unnecessary vulnerability. It's just my personal take. Especially in this day and age of supply chain issues. Like, why run on the bare minimums? I mean, I don't know. But in any case, no, I am definitely not a minimalist by any stretch, and that's in all aspects of my life. But I do quite enjoy the clean girl aesthetic. It's actually been a really probably signature look for most of my life. It's just the look that I always went for. I enjoyed simplicity. It's why I've worn like simple diamond studs for probably 20 years for the most part. Easy, sleep in it, shower in it. I do everything in them and they just kind of go. It's just kind of my signature, along with the French manicure I've had for like 30 years. Like, it's insane. I don't know, some crazy number. It's just clean, it goes with everything. So it's always been my personal aesthetic. If I'm not going glam, that is. But I have some great fragrances that pair really nicely with that aesthetic that I want to share with you. I think there's some really nice choices. It doesn't mean having something that is fresh and soapy that lasts 30 minutes. That is really not necessarily what it means. And again, I have this for the men too, because I think it's an incredibly versatile kind of scent profile. So let's get into it. I also want to quickly say, if you enjoy this content, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. I always forget to say this. I say it at the very end, but in any case, please do hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up. It really does help the analytics. Whew. All right, so let's get into it. The first one is definitely more on that light side. It's Kilian Roses on Ice. I'll say to this day, I do not understand why they launched it when they launched it. Christmas time, along with Angel Share. It definitely fell to the wayside. I mean, you can't really do a fresh, clean scent like this in the dead of winter. It just kind of, it vanishes. So, but this is amazing in the summertime and for that fresh, clean aesthetic. It is cucumber vodka soda with some rose oil. It's a very simple, clean aesthetic. Doesn't get more clean. With definitely a very elegant kind of look, a very like crisp white button down kind of look, sharp, clean, fresh, glowing makeup, a very maybe slicked back hair, just a very clean, slick kind of look, very chic. That's definitely Roses on Ice. It is gonna ride a little closer to you, but it is this clean kind of. Vodka soda doesn't get more clean. It could be vodka, gin, one of them. I think it's gin actually, which would be a little bit of juniper berry in there. And it's also really, really nice in heat waves. So Kilian Roses on Ice. The next one is kind of along those lines, and it is Parfums de Marly Delina Rosé. I like to use the analogy of Delina is white wine, Delina Exclusive is deeper, richer with oud and is like a red wine. This is the rosé wine. if you have rosé in the dead of winter, it really kind of pales. But when you have it in the summer, during the day, outdoors, al fresca, it's very refreshing. And that's exactly how this one is. It does open with the sweeter notes like the Delina exclusive does. So it has, I think, a pear in the opening. It's not that tart opening that Delina has. And then instead of going to this rich, deep fragrance, it actually is a more dewy kind of rose. And it has these watery kind of florals in there. And it gives a crisp kind of feel to it while leaving the most magnificent sillage around. It's actually very surprising because you think there's not much going on. It's not doing anything on your skin, but you're leaving a mesmerizing trail with this. It's such a beautiful, sweet, dewy rose in Delina Rosé. The next one is unisex, but definitely incredible for men. That is by BDK Salle d'Argent. I do enjoy this one quite a bit. For men, really, really extraordinary. This one is gonna give you that citrusy, marine kind of fragrance with also that like splash of salt going in there. This is like, you've been at the beach all day. Yes, you're clean. It's now happy hour. You're having some cocktails outside, but maybe you've been on vacation or you live in a beach town like I do, and you just have that beach flair going on. You're probably a little sun-kissed. There's just something magnificent about this one. It's definitely fresh and clean. It's got a lot of that marine note in here, but I absolutely love this, and it actually really lasts quite a long time. It's going to get you through the happy hour, your dinner, and an early night. This is not going to be like your nightclub kind of fragrance by any stretch, but it's definitely your like happy hour and al fresco dinner kind of fragrance. Now I know you're thinking that I need to have a Byredo in here because it just goes with that aesthetic, but it's no secret that I'm not the biggest fan of that house because I just feel like they're overpriced for the longevity that they give you. Byredo and Jo Malone, I just really struggle with, and I might find, you know, one here or there. And you know, there's the three big ones, Mojave Ghost, Gypsy Water, and Belle de Freak that I actually really like, but I get like 30 minutes from them. So I'm not down with that. But I do like the Dapper's version. This is one of those times where the dupe is better, much like you see Creed get criticized. This one, it leaves an incredibly sweet, musky kind of vibe on my skin that, I love this one, and it will last me all day. That it's just the epitome of that clean girl with this sweetness to it that, of course, I always like a little edge of sweetness in my fragrances if I can. Gosh, I love this one. You know, sometimes the dupe is better. It just is. And this is one of those times. Another one of those brands that I kind of like, and they're great for the clean girl aesthetic, but again, I just have longevity issues for the price tag, especially since they're like colognes, and that's Jo Malone. So another brand that is a great alternative that I actually do like would be by Hermès, the Un Jardin collection. Honestly, you can pick, I think there's 4 in this collection. You can pick any of them, whichever one floats your boat. They're all like the garden, and some of them have like a lagoon or the Mediterranean. I have here Un Jardin sur la Lagune, which is the lagoon kind of scent. And then I also have Sur le Nil, which is a more refreshing, fruity, aquatic kind of fragrance. Both amazing. This one is going to be a lot more like the wood sage and sea salt, which is quite popular. It just gives you that woody kind of base with a very calm kind of waters fragrance to it. I do have the Dapper also of wood sage and sea salt. Again, I just find it like one of these invisible fragrances. The Dapper is much better, and I'll spray it just as like, you know, a nothing getting out of the shower, but you know, that's just my personal preference. This is way better. Still not the most incredible longevity, but they're not priced as heavy either, and they do last a little longer. So the Sur la Lagune. Moving along here, Now, the epitome of the clean girl is always going to be the Chanel clean, aesthetic, crisp look. That was Chanel's thing. A simplistic glamour. Beige, Chanel beige from the Les Exclusive line was literally created for that look. Beige was meant to be this neutral that just went with that simple look of like heels, jeans, white t-shirt, blazer kind of look, that simple, crisp, classic kind of look. That's beige. Beige, I personally even forget about to wear. It is literally a neutral, kind of floral, really. It has a little bit of a tropical flair because it's got frangipani as one of the notes, and then there's a touch of honey in here just sweetening up that frangipani, but in a not tropical way. So it's not like a vanilla coconut married with it. It's a honey, which somehow just kind of tames it and brings it into that beige kind of look to it. There's also hawthorn in here, so it gives a little bit of texture to this fragrance. So even though it's frangipani in here, it gives it this floralness without it being really tropical per se. It's quite a beautiful, simple, elegant fragrance, beige. Now, me personally, the Chanel that I tend to think of and grab first before I grab the beige, because somehow I always forget that I now have beige, I go for one of the Chanel No. 5s. Now, I get it, this is a polarizing fragrance. I truly believe that there's something to do with chemistry and scent memories. Like, that's everything, chemistry or scent memories. I personally have incredible scent memories with it. I come from a family of women that all wore Chanel No. 5 while I was growing up. They were all beautifully elegant women, and it was a very classic style. And I just have great scent memories, along with it goes really well with the chemistry in my family. I've gotten compliments on this even when it wasn't trendy. And I mean, like, I was a very young girl, even in college, I would get compliments and people would be shocked that it was Chanel No. 5. They now have the Le or Lo, I'm not sure the pronunciation of that, and the Eau Premiere, which are a little bit more of a contemporary version, but they all have those aldehydes, which give this champagne sparkly kind of feel to it, even a little bit soapy kind of feel, but it's that soapiness that actually makes you feel clean and crisp and elegant, along with, there is that little bit of cosmetics counter kind of vibe to this. That's just, you know, what I get, but it's a very crisp and classic kind of look. So the Chanel No. 5s. Going along with the whole aldehydes kind of thing, if Chanel No. 5 is not your thing, another one is by Xerjoff Pica Valladama. This one is also quite unisex. It smells amazing on men and women. If you want that aldehydic kind of feel with that champagne sparkliness, a very elegant kind of feel, and you don't really want Chanel No. 5, the Pica Valladama is an incredible option. It's if you just have poor scent memories with the Chanel No. 5. This is not one of the cheaper ones. This is definitely expensive in the 1770 collection. However, it's so incredibly regal, this fragrance. There is this certain je ne sais quoi about this fragrance that I absolutely love. I always feel elegant and regal when I wear this, and fresh and clean. So the Pica Valladama by Xerjoff. Another one that people don't think of, but they're really harsh on this fragrance because when they wear it, they're expecting a beast. But it's really more for that clean girl kind of aesthetic. And that's by Roja, and it's elixir. You can have the other elixir, which is the Essence de Parfum, which is more like an EDT kind of concentration, or you can have, which I have here, the Parfum. Now, the Essence de Parfum is gonna be stronger at first. The first few minutes are much more powerful than this. However, it peters out really fast. It evaporates very quickly. It's the evaporation that you smell. The Parfum is gonna last longer, but it's gonna ride a little closer and not evaporate as quickly. But it leaves this beautiful little sillage of this elegant, fruity, floral kind of fragrance. It has this raspberry peach rose thing going on. There's a slight bit of powderiness and muskiness, and it really just gives this feminine flair to it that's really delicate and just kind of leaves more of a sillage and is very close to you. I suggest spraying your hair so that it kind of whips when you're walking, but this is such a beautifully elegant fragrance also. It is not a beast. It's meant for the clean aesthetic. Moving along, I have a newer house. This one is from 2018. I haven't really seen a lot of people feature this or get this. It is by J.U.S. Parfums. J.U.S, it's an acronym. It's abbreviated J.U.S, but meant to be pronounced juice, much like we refer to the liquid in these bottles as our juice. So it's kind of a play on words like that, play on the acronym. J.U.S, I mean, even when you look at the aesthetics, it's meant to be very clean. All their bottles use this pop art kind of crazy colors. The white one is meant to be that more musky, powdery, clean kind of fragrance. That is just an aesthetic that I like also, aside from aldehydes clean. I like a very musky, clean kind of fragrance. This one, though, is a little different here because there is this slight vein of like an amberiness running through this one, almost like a little bit of woody amberiness. However, it is primarily not. It's more like ISO E Super and ambergris and ambroxan and all these like mystical kind of notes that really have an effect more so than what you're smelling. There's also, the florals in here are immortelle and heliotrope, which also give this fuzzy kind of feel to it. But this is not a really thick cashmere kind of fragrance. It has a dash of pepper in it. However, this is not a spicy fragrance. The pepper in here is like a garnish. Almost like if you have a fresh garden salad and then you ask for cracked fresh pepper on top, putting that cracked pepper on there doesn't make it a spicy dish. It really just offers this contrast, if you will, is what the pepper does here. It's quite a good fragrance. It does go through a little bit of stages. It opens more clean, musky, powdery. And then kind of like the mid, it gets this touch of amberiness, like this sweet amberiness. And then that drifts away and you're left more with this like woody, musky kind of fragrance. Like a woody, powdery, vanilla fragrance kind of is what you're really left with. It's really quite pretty. I actually love this one. Oh, and this is kind of new. So I do have a coupon code for this one. The only place that I know you can get it is directly from the perfumers, the only place I've seen it so far because it's kind of new. It's 2018, however, I haven't really seen it distributed anywhere. So I do have the Greta 10 that will work for 10% off on this, and I'll leave a link down in the description box for this fragrance. The next one is kind of old. This one I think is 2008, 2009, 2008. It's by Memo Paris and it's Janeiro. No one talks about this one. This is just an oldie that I absolutely love. I didn't discover it until about 2 years ago, and I just fell in love with it. This one, to me, reminds me of that cozy feeling when you've been outside all day in the sun and the sports and the water, and you're kind of tired. Like, it's exhausting. Sun and water can be tiring to me, but it's a really good tired feeling, and you have this sun-kissed feeling, and you really just want clean when you're feeling like that. You just want to be showered off, a simple look, something comforting, and this is it. It has that feeling of like a post-bubble bath kind of feel to me. It's really like a citrus, creamy, aromatic. It's got this tonka bean base, so it has that creaminess to it. It opens with a lot of citruses, just this burst of citruses with a little bit of green, I'm gonna say, but it really keeps to the citruses because I'm not a green kind of person. And then you have that lavender, which technically is an aromatic, but when I say citrus aromatic, I do not mean like a masculine fragrance. I mean, it has lavender, which is very comforting. There's something very calming and comforting and soothing, and then you mix it with tonka bean, and it's just that beautiful, like Zen kind of watching the sunset kind of vibe to me when you're like just home watching the sunset or having a drink with your beloveds. It just has that calm after the storm kind of feeling to me. There is a little bit of frangipani in here also, which is probably why I get that summer sun and sports kind of vibe, because frangipani has such a tropical association of a flower. I really enjoy this one. I just wish more people talked about it, or maybe it had its heyday. I don't really know. I think its heyday passed, but I still absolutely love this one. Janeiro. Another one that I think is fantastic is simple, clean, refreshing, probably more of that clean girl that wants to be active, so you don't really want to put a lot of makeup on because you know you're going to be sweating or something. And Citrus by Zahara Citrine. I think it's Signature Citrine is its actual name. Yeah, Signature Citrine. I always call it Citrine. I absolutely love this one. It's basically a citrus musk with some woodies in there. I think there's even like oud and patchouli or something in here, but I really don't pick that up. It's the woods that are really like clean woods that give it the longevity. I will wear this and 4 or 5 hours later, still get this waft of it. Like, how is this possible with a citrus musk? And it's a super clean kind of fragrance. Again, I get that like crisp white shirt kind of vibe, or like crisp white t-shirt and jean shorts. Like, there's just something great, and it's an incredibly universal fragrance. I like comparing it to 4711 in that it's that universal. Doesn't matter age, doesn't matter what you're doing, doesn't matter what gender you are. It's just incredibly universal, this fragrance. It's a workhorse for that reason, and I just love this one. Fantastic for travel too, because it's really inobtrusive. And you know, traveling can make you feel a little gross after a while of, you know, sitting in your clothes, and you feel a little stale. At least I do. I feel stale after long trips, where this is a really fresh, rejuvenating, clean kind of feeling. This, a little spritz of this just really freshens you up, and I enjoy this one. Signature Citrine. One more everyone always thinks of, and that is by Initio Musk Therapy. I do hate that they have such quality issues with their caps and these collars falling off and whatnot, but Musk Therapy, this white line with the Rehab and the Musk Therapy were actually designed to be a kind of a reboot of the senses when you've been wearing heavy fragrances, and kind of, you know, like rehab or a rehabilitation and kind of a detox of the senses is what they're meant to be. The irony being they still can't help themselves putting hedione in here, which has an addictive kind of vibe to it. Makes you like, I like this, I want more. However, this one, oh, I just love this opening with the blackcurrant and the citruses. It's so yummy. It does have a lot of musks in it, as well as magnolia, which is a very creamy kind of white floral, and then again sandalwood, which is a clean wood that has a little bit of creaminess to it. So you have this creamy kind of base going on, and this opening of citrus and sweet blackcurrant that is just incredible. And it is fresh and clean smelling. To me, this is like big billowy linen pants or an oversized linen blouse. Like, it just has that kind of free, clean aesthetic to it that I really quite enjoy the Musk Therapy. This is a really good one. There's something a little bit put together to it while being clean and refreshing that I enjoy in Musk Therapy. The last one is a new one, and it's fantastic again for men. I've really enjoyed wearing this as well, and it's on my to-buy list. It's the new Kilian Shield of Protection. It is a very bright citrus fragrance. Somehow, this one lasts, and it sticks. Similar to like BDK Citrus Riviera maybe, or like Xerjoff Renaissance. It's again one of those really vibrant citrusy fragrances that I really enjoy. For some reason, this one really sticks and isn't quite as sharp as the Xerjoff and the BDK at that opening. There's something a little more smoother, refreshing about it than bracing. That I really, really enjoy this one. I have a sample of the Kilian, a sample of the Dapper, and I'm gonna get one of them. I'm not sure which. I've been getting a bunch of Dappers lately, so I feel like I need to be getting the OG. Look at the prices. I don't know yet, but they are like pretty spot on, both of them. But yeah, Kilian Shield of Protection. That is my roundup. That is my elegant, clean girl fragrance list, and clean man, clean woman kind of list, because clean boy, I don't know, it doesn't sound so cool. But that is my roundup. These are all incredibly good fragrances that go with that crisp, clean, neutral, simplistic kind of look that also give you a sharp, refined, and finished look. Because you can be clean girl, but that doesn't mean you have to be clean slob. You can be clean and refined, and these will do that. They will finish off the look for you. So if you like this list, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Mwah!